Good evening, folks. We're going to start with this video, and then I'm going to be back and I'm going to run my mouth a little bit. Let's cook.
I will never understand the mindset of a liberal black woman, especially the one that got sons. I'll never understand their mindset, bro. Because you expect a black man to be traditional. I will never understand this, G. And I'm talking about the ones that live their life so goddamn free. They don't live under God. They don't live their life under God. They don't know what God looked like. They don't know what he smelled like. None. And they got all this nerve to talk about conservative values and and mind you, this is coming out of a mouth of a woman who raising 4 different households up under one roof. But you sitting up here complaining about black men not being traditional. But you don't like conservative values. That does not make sense to me. What the fuck do y'all think conservative mean? A motherfucker that dressed properly? No. Conservatives live their life under God. They live their life by the book, the Bible. And if that's something you don't understand, you need a long, hard look in the goddamn mirror, bro. Like real shit. The confusing thing is that y'all got this culture of baby mama, baby daddy shit, right? All the women got like 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, 6 kids, right? And I'm talking about the wildest ones, okay? I ain't talking about every single last one. I'm talking about the wildest ones, all right? The ones that think they can do whatever the fuck they want without no consequences, right? These bitches got 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, right? Taking care of 6, 7, 8 kids in one house, right? You got literally 4 or 5 different households under one roof, bitch. But you sitting up here complaining about a nigga not being a traditional man, a nigga that don't take care of his kids, a nigga that's not a man of God. You want that in your life. But you, yourself, had children before marriage. Bro, it is a reason why they say, do not have sex before marriage, not just kids. Do not have sex before marriage. Because now you got a culture now you got a generation of black men. They got 5, 6 different baby mamas, right? And then when they get 40 or 50, they find the love of their life, right? But now you can't even prioritize her. You can't even prioritize the woman that you really want in your life because you got this bitch calling you. You got this bitch calling you. You got to take care of these kids. You got to give money to these kids. You got to give money to that kid. Y'all put yourselves in this situation and then turn around and say, I want a traditional woman. No, nigga, you're not a traditional man. You out here fucking anything that move. You out here having babies with every relationship you get into. And then when it comes down the line, you actually found the woman of your dreams. She don't even want you no more. Same with the women. Y'all out here popping these babies out without marriage. Y'all out here popping these babies out expecting a man to come around and take care of y'all motherfucking kids. Y'all got like fucked up. How about you actually understand what the fucking conservative value is? How about instead of y'all judging people because y'all think they racist and y'all only think conservative people are racist because what y'all were told growing up. Y'all know nothing about these people. Y'all know nothing about politics. Y'all know nothing about religion. Y'all know nothing about shit. Y'all literally just be running y'all goddamn mouth. Y'all literally cause the problems y'all complain about. Y'all cause the problems y'all complain about. It's literal wars on TikTok between black people, black women, and black men. You know why? Because neither one of them understand conservative values. And then y'all want motherfuckers to feel sorry for you? No. Bitch, you open your motherfucking ass had them kids. Ain't nobody tell you to have them kids before marriage. Nigga, you the one that started to have all these motherfucking baby mamas thinking you can just pop them out without marriage. Y'all cause your own problems. Y'all motherfucking family trees look like motherfucking spider webs. Get y'all shit together. And then what y'all do with y'all kids is even more wilder, G. Y'all allow y'all daughters to sing Sexy Red songs out in public, bro. I was just outside with my daughter, G, and she was like linking up with some girls that stayed down the block, you know what I'm saying? Little girls, they 5, 6, 7, 8, couldn't be no more than 9 years old, bro. About 6 of them outside, G, and they all in sync singing a Sexy Red song. My daughter over there looking at their ass like, you better not. You better not. Y'all allow this shit to happen. Y'all allow y'all little sons, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, throw up gang signs and think that shit cute. Y'all actively put them in a line of war, G, before they even turn 10, bro. Before they even hit double digits. Y'all putting targets on y'all own children's backs. Y'all, cause y'all think it's cute. And then y'all want to sit up here and complain about the gun violence, about us killing each other. But when motherfucking Donald Trump want to send the goddamn National Guard to Chicago, then that's when it's no, we don't need help. No. Nigga, my daughter's grandmother was shot cold blood, bro. Died. And they still haven't found the killer. And it's still going on till this day. Motherfuckers die in that city every day. And we the ones that keep saying stop the violence. We are the ones that keep saying, I don't want to go outside. Why the fuck do y'all think every black man in the city of Chicago feel the need to walk outside with a motherfucking gun, bro? Y'all promote this shit. Y'all promote it in music. Y'all promote it in movies. The black classics. All of that shit destroyed us. And now y'all want to sit up here and get mad at another motherfucking race for pointing it out? That's y'all fault. Start teaching y'all sons to be traditional men. Start teaching y'all daughters to be traditional women. Y'all causing this fucking problem. It ain't white people. White people ain't out here motherfucking teaching they kids Sexy Red songs, having them. What the fuck is y'all doing? Fuck y'all thinking, bro? That shit ain't moral. It ain't cool. Y'all exposing shit to children that don't need to be exposed to children. And wonder why they growing up with the YN culture. They going in churches, shooting up churches. But when a motherfucker complain about it, then that's when we get mad at them. Oh, no, black people ain't bad. Black people ain't do that. Black people ain't do shit. But then turn around the next day, a nigga in your family gets shot. Oh, they killed my baby. These niggas killed my baby. Delusional. It gets worse. It gets worse. These people actually believe because you're black, you can't be successful. These people actually believe when you walk the fuck outside, the world is against you. I wish I would teach my children that shit. These people believe every single white person that they see hate them. These people believe everything is about race. How about we focus on ourselves first? It's like y'all asking everybody else for help in the black community, but y'all can't see what the fuck we doing. It's called accountability, motherfucker, and I swear to God, y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this shit. I don't give a fuck. It's the truth. I'm tired of this shit. Y'all arguing on the motherfucking internet. Because y'all don't understand conservative values. You don't understand that you're not supposed to have children before marriage. You don't understand you're not supposed to have sex before marriage. You don't understand that you are supposed to live your life under God if you want to be successful. If you want to keep the hate out your motherfucking heart, live your life under God. I'm not even a religious person, bro. But from what's going on in this country right now, y'all niggas need help. Like mental help. Y'all laughing at niggas getting shot in the neck, bro. That's demonic as fuck. Then sit up here saying he deserved it because he had an opinion. Bitch, you got one too. You got an opinion too. You want to be next? No, you don't. So be careful. Y'all literally mad at a group of people that want better for everybody. You motherfuckers are destroying the planet. Not just America, the planet. All the motherfucking NGOs that we was sending our taxpayer dollars to overseas. Thinking that we helping motherfuckers overseas. Meanwhile, there's some Epstein shit going on. We don't even motherfucking know about that. We funding. This shit is demonic. And y'all actually believe that shit. Y'all do realize that the devil is the deceiver of all deceivers. Wake the fuck up. I'm sorry, y'all, but from all this shit that I've been seeing, bro, the CharlieKirk death, y'all can't shut me up. Y'all ain't finna silence me. Y'all ain't finna scare me. None of that shit. Y'all got like fucked up. Y'all got God fucked up. Excuse my language, but God knows his daughter.
Welcome to the show, folks. It's your boy, Victor Vincent, yet again with another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. And this week, this is the recap. And this episode, I was like, you know what? What do I want to call this episode? Because there's so many things that happen from day to day. And I decided to call this Welcome to Thermopylae. For those of you that don't know what Thermopylae is, you haven't seen 300. You should watch it. It's not true, but it's loosely based on what we believe the Spartans would have been. And in 300 which is the name of the movie, Gerard Butler plays Leonidas. Leonidas decides to go travel and fight the Persians and meet them where they are and stop their advances to give Sparta chance to get his military assembled to go fight them. So he decides to go take 300 men and fight in this small space because he can control the warfare. And it was called Thermopylae, and it's also the Greek term for the hot gates, where he could fight in a phone booth, sustain his numbers, and defeat one enemy at a time as they walk up. So that's kind of how I was feeling when I was making certain posts. For those of you that follow my Facebook page that have probably been blocked or deleted or whatever, yeah, it was an intentional trap. I just wanted to, give it a test run. And for good reason. Because I want us to deal with things that we can actually solve. I don't think you can combat anything unless you can take care of your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities as it sits. So I'm gonna bring up a few talking points tonight, and I'm gonna have a guest call in and give his talking points as well. So I'm gonna start running through these things right now. If you take the baby daddies and the baby mamas and the overweight, diabetic, pro-black simps and feminists out of your timeline, who is left? I ask that because all I see is a lot of blame, no plans, no organization. If they had plans, organization, and a way forward, they wouldn't even be entertaining topics that they don't agree with. Next question is, would y'all eat Chinese food at a black restaurant with black employees? It sounds silly, but that question is a DEI question. Okay. I'm gonna get in your business tonight. Power doesn't beg or bicker. Victimhood does. People that come into my comments trying to change my mind have no power here. This deletion season, learn or burn. For those of you that want to come online and got some smoke for me, I'm going to put the number up and you're going to have to spend a little bread to come on my platform to talk crazy to me tonight if you got that kind of time. So get your Cashapp ready. It'll be loaded up soon. Cancel culture is backfiring on liberals now. These are the same folks that tried canceling men with Me Too. I'm glad I've lived long enough to see this necessary conflict occur because it's necessary. I don't say, ha, it's happening to you. I'm saying, do you remember? Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time when it was cool to just accuse men falsely of anything with no proof, no evidence, just hearsay? And then act like, oh, well, they deserved it, even when it was found to be false and the false accusations were proven to be false, that there was no public apology. The fanfare for it being wrong was never as loud as it was when it was false. Everything you're seeing on social media that triggers you is a reaction to a reality that you've been denying or have been brainwashed by. You need to stay uncomfortable, my friends, because it's going to get worse. Okay? For the fellas, women will pander to you on social media when it's about race and politics. When it's about family, they call you absent deadbeats. That's the post. Why do you entertain women in politics and race discussions? And then when you talk about relationships, they call you a bum. They call you inadequate. They say you need to level up, or they act like because they believe that you're beneath them until there's a race or a politic conversation. Okay? Pay attention to that. They're only on your team when it's time to vote. And the only people that care about this are big overweight simps and the mothers that raised them. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism while being a Hebrew Israelite with mixed children. Okay? Do we need to go into that? Y'all need to figure out who's supposed to be speaking for you. Because I'm a nomad. I don't care. Because you can't be on one side and try to solve the problem, but I'm bringing up the pointy topics. This is stuff that I see. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism while being a Hebrew Israelite with mixed children. Prove me wrong. Other things black people will talk your head off about is about racism, but won't talk about how they keep making excuses for immoral behavior as adults that they wouldn't accept from their own children. You know what I'm talking about. They will sit back. The people that fit this behavior will sit back, observe people of a different ethnic group behaving in a way that they say, man, if black people was doing this, they would crucify us. And then when black people start doing it, they apologize for it and say whatever level of reasons that they want to use. Okay. And at the same time, they're making those concessions and apologies for that behavior. They will crucify their children for less if they care, whatever that looks like in that situation. But I'm bringing it all to task. These are hard questions. Why do the people that fit this behavior give folks they don't know a pass for their choices in behavior that they wouldn't accept from their own children? Black men that are baby daddies and raised by thoughts will talk your head off all day about promiscuous modern women, but their unmarried mama was a side chick just like his baby mama, or however many he got. I don't understand that. Somebody got to make it make sense. And tonight is the conversation for it. Sexually undisciplined black men will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep buck dancing for side chicks, a problem they can actually solve. I don't understand y'all. And I'm only talking about the people that fit the behavior. You complain about women. You cry about them. You say they this and they say they that. And then you be in their inbox. I got communication with women. They tell me about this. They show me the screenshots. You big and out of shape too, just like the women you talk about online. And you still in their inbox. And you still disrupting conversations. Because a lot of y'all couldn't get any type of validation from your mothers. We're going to talk about it. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep blaming food for obesity instead of going to the gym. Another problem they can actually solve. The fork ain't made you fat. The food ain't made you fat. Your choices and your laziness made you fat. Your inconsistency made you fat. You got so fat that they had to create another category and call it obese. You was fat 200 pounds ago. And for you men that can't do a pull-up and your body jiggle, You got to answer for that. You a BBW too. Black people talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep reproducing children out of wedlock with bums. A problem they can actually solve. I don't care how people feel about the topics I'm talking about tonight, because we have to learn through entertainment. That's just the way things have been, always. And this might be entertaining for some, might be brutal for others. But I don't particularly care, because all of us got to do better. All of us got something that we need to work on. But the things that will kill you, that you won't address, are not as important as what's going on outside of the race. And I don't understand that. I don't. Most people care about complaints. I care about solutions. Making a choice is the process of elimination. People will either use logic or emotion to process their own elimination or progress. So you're either going to make an emotionally disciplined decision or emotionally undisciplined decision. And in your choice, you will lose or gain visibility, accountability, or access to something. You know what I'm saying? You will. There's always a trade-off. And if you use your emotions, you're further away from what makes sense. Emotions don't usually have great return on investment. Name something that you've made an emotional decision on that you was right about and you would do it again 10 out of 10 times. Out of 10 times, how many times do you think you will make the right decision if you made an emotional choice? How many times have you made the same emotional decision and gotten the result that you want? Huh? Tell me about that. And before we go, hey, look, I like to go ahead and acknowledge my super chat. Shout out to my man, the service. You know, yo, he already got it. He already got it popping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how he went to that super chat and put some bread in, huh? Why y'all can't do the same thing? What's holding you back? You know what I'm saying? I know it, and for that, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get the praise break going for my man. You know what I'm saying? Hold up now. Hey, come on. Hey, some of y'all go ahead and put something in the pot. And we're gonna get funky tonight. You know what I'm saying? What kind of questions y'all got? Place to do it. Hey. You get the whole frame on that one. All right, I'm quit playing with y'all. Shout out to Ron. What's up with it? Yeah, man, it's gonna be a spicy conversation tonight. For those of you that choose to hang out, close to 10 o'clock. Well, it is 10 o'clock here Central Time. But for the start, I am go ahead and take my first phone call. For those of you that are interested in calling in, you know what I'm saying, leave a 1 in the chat and I'll let y'all know what y'all need to do. You know what I'm saying, as we go. But for my man that already know who's supposed to call, go ahead and call. You got to be watching. Let him know now, you know what I'm saying, just in case he get distracted, because he been waiting patiently by. Because it's about to get real good, bro. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in, man. Because we want to move forward, but we don't want to talk about these hard ass problems, man. You know, we've been raised in a certain type of way that won't let us deal with our issues the right way. And we got to be accountable for that. Here we go. Hold up. What's up with it, brother?
What's up, man? What's up?
Man, talk to me, man. What you got going on, man? What you cooking on? What you want to jump in and talk about, bro?
Man, I want to. My bad, man. I was over here. I'm over here at Applebee's and just got finished eating some really good food, had some drinks. But man, I want to go straight to the identity politics, man, and you talk about why I made the switch from Democrat to Republican, and about faith and family values and Christian values and the principles like that, and the compassion and the empathy that I've been seeing. That's what really made me make the switch versus being a Democrat. And their identity politics that they've been running on. It's kind of makes me sick to my stomach to see so much hate and the identity politics that they run on.
Yeah, man, that's what's going on too, man. Like this week's recap is I titled it Thermopylae, you know, because Leonidas picked a small space to fight out of, right? And I
Right.
had a few topics that I had ran through before you came on, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things that I said earlier was that power doesn't beg or bicker, victimhood does. People that come into my comments trying to change my mind have no power here. And so what you're about to talk about in terms of your problem with identity politics and why it made you switch from Democrat to Republican is because you have the power to choose what makes sense for you and what doesn't, right?
Right.
So I want you to go ahead and speak your piece about that, bro. Go ahead.
Well, it's like what Charlie Kirk said is, why is the man not in the home? We really got to ask those hard questions of why he's not there. And we know for a fact it's feminism, and the identity politics that they run on. They'd rather have, abortions. They'd rather battle the man in the home and, choose feminism. And we already know what it is, and because of the color of their skin, they don't like the way that it's said. And I'm like, well, since the color of my skin is a little bit more melanated, then I can speak about the identity politics and how they prefer, feminism and abortions and LGBTQ. They prefer all of those identity politics versus family values and Christian values and what's going to be in the better good of society and humanity. I mean, at this time with his passing, this is an honor for him. He was a respectable, honorable, righteous man, and that had his own mind. And not to see on the blue side them not honoring him and not respecting his death, it just made me sick to my stomach, man. I could never be with a party that promotes hate like that. It made me sick.
Yeah, it's it's strange to see it, honestly, in our big ages. I get there was a time where there was a level of celebration for your ops and all that stuff if you was outside like that. But when you gonna grow up, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Right.
kind of where I'm at. So
Yeah.
which kind of brings me I'm gonna breeze through these questions because everything you got to say gonna hit on these notes, right? All right, so check this out. If you take the baby daddies and the baby mamas and the overweight, diabetic, pro-black simps and feminists out of your timeline, who is left?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question.
Who you got left?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not looking too good. It's just not looking too good. It's you just can't keep running on the same identity politics. And I mean, what you do in your free time is what you do in your free time. I just think that should be kept separate.
Yeah, man. And that's something to think about because I know there's a lot of different variables based on the identity of stuff, like you said. But you see how that syncs up. Now you got to really think about like who are you communicating with if you're not talking to these type of people, right?
Yeah, because when you start getting away from that and you start going to the other side, because if you're independent, you're independent. You're going to see what's on the blue and you're going to see what's on the red. They're not doing identity politics. It's based on family,
Yeah.
values, principles. How are you going to win against that?
Yep. And you can't do that arguing identity with people, right? You gotta be already on the same sheet of music. Meaning, like, if if me and you got some target or goal that you and I both agreed is important, right? We don't even have to
Mhm.
talk about it every day. You know, we
No,
just
you
may
don't.
have to stop and re-strategize what we're doing, but we don't have to talk about what we're up against. We know what the mission is, right?
All right. It's all about the mission, the
Yep.
message, the movement. You know what I mean? Look, less than a week, over 1,000 people. Less than a week, another event, over 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Man, you had to be there to see it. You had to be there to see it,
What
man.
event are you talking about right now, though? Go ahead.
With the vigil.
Oh yeah, you went to the Charlie Kirk visual, right?
Yeah, yeah. I went in Lampasas and I went in Belton.
Oh, you went to two different ones,
Yeah, I went to two different ones.
and the turnout was just as big at both of them.
It was welcoming, it was peaceful. They prayed, and it was like, man, it was just like a movement, man. You know what I'm saying? And like, I've been to George Floyd when that happened, and it was like, okay, when George Floyd there, everybody was praying, and it was the same thing. But I didn't see no blue out there, so I was like, oh, y'all want to run race politics when it's convenient.
Mm,
This is convenient. This is convenient race politics. We
yeah,
just got to call a spade a spade. Because when George Floyd died, everybody was out there. Now, when this man died, oh, y'all want to play the race card? I was like, I ain't doing that, bro. I ain't doing that.
yeah. How do you feel about being a black man that's having to even say that they're playing the race card? Ain't that crazy? A few
Well,
years
I
ago,
mean,
that was
they
super crazy to say, but now when you see it, it's like, what? What? How does that make you feel?
it just makes me like you're uneducated. You know, it's like you got to show a policy. If you're not talking about that something that's tangible, then what you're saying is very subjective and is open to interpretation. It's just you're being emotional. But that's really what it is. If you want to be in logical and use logical intelligence, then you got to talk about policies and the policy makers and the politicians. So anything outside of that, you're just making up stuff because you're emotional and you're upset.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna move on to another question, right? Cancel culture is backfiring on liberals now. These are the same folks that try canceling men with Me Too. I'm personally glad I lived long enough to see this necessary conflict occur. What do you think about that?
Man, I love that council culture is back. We needed more of that. Just at the end of the day, when you're a public official, a public servant, you're working around kids, and you know, you're held to a higher fiduciary. Now, if you don't understand that, then maybe you should take some continuing education courses and understanding what being held to a higher fiduciary actually means. But since you went to school to be in a certain career, and you're going to be held accountable for that offline and online.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So so you got to bring it back. You got to bring it back.
hmm Word, man. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me tag some people in here. All right, let's see here. I wrote this. I said, everything you're seeing on social media that triggers you is a reaction to a reality that you've been denying or have been brainwashed by. Stay uncomfortable, my friends. What would you like to say to that?
About being brainwashed.
Yeah,
I
what?
mean, it's just crazy, man, because you got a smartphone and you don't want to be smart. You know, if
Mhm.
you actually took time out of your day and read and study and watch videos and attend networking events and have conversations and relationships, um, it'd be a little bit different. I just lost my train of thought. You gotta excuse me. I then had a couple of drinks. Can you run it back one more
Yeah,
time?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you.
I lost my train
Everything,
of thought.
everything you're seeing on social media that triggers you is a reaction to a reality that you've been denying or have been brainwashed by.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, people, man, it's just confirmation bias, man. It's
Mm,
confirmation bias. And it's, most people, if you grew up a Christian, you're a Christian. If you grew up Democrat, you're a Democrat. And it's just like, how has that been working out for you? Because I could tell you, growing up as a Democrat is not working out. We got generations of socialism. We got identity politics with LGBTQ. We got feminism. We got abortions, and it's like, yo, at the end of the day, y'all really don't, it's not about family values. It's about identity politics, and that's the brainwashing that people been following for so long. And if you want to wake up from the matrix and take a different pill, then you're gonna just understand that if like my family been married for 55 years, man. My grandparents stayed married till death. So when you hear family values, Christian values, principles, and standing on that, man. Like who gonna go against that? And when that's what it is. With the blue and Democrats, man, they just want to be LGBTQ and feminism
mm,
and abortions. Like what? Woo. I mean, come on, man. One party saying family and the other party are doing identity. They're doing identity politics. Let's
yeah,
just keep it 100. They rather have abortions. They're not talking about keeping a man in the home. Let's just keep it 100.
yeah.
So if you hear that, then you already know. I've
Mhm.
been to both sides, man. I'm not biased. As a Republican, they speaking about family. With Democrats, they speaking about LGBTQ and feminism and abortions.
What have you seen them say about men in the
I,
Democratic
I
Party?
I like on the Democratic side, I never heard them say anything positive about a man. I haven't, and I've been Democratic all my life. And I can't see that unless you're LGBTQ. Let's just keep it 100. The man is not in the home. And matter of fact, we see on the Democratic side they promote transgender, LGBTQ, abortions. They down for that. But when you start talking about family and the man staying in the home, then then it's controlling. It's an abuse of power. They don't like that talk.
It's
You know what I mean?
patriarchy. Mm.
Yeah.
All right. So let me go to the next one,
I
right?
mean, they're brainwashed, man. They're brainwashed, really. But
Yeah.
go ahead, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, if you want something to add, bro, like you the guest right now, So I already said what I had to say, but I
Yeah,
wanted you to elaborate. You know what I'm saying? If you got something else you want to add, then keep cooking.
I will. I will. Let me answer your questions, and then we'll loop
Yeah,
back and do a
we'll loop
recap
back.
on it.
All right, fellas, women will pander to you on social media when it's about race and politics. When it's about family, they call you absent deadbeats.
That's right.
Man, okay,
That's right.
all right.
So when it's political season, then they want to dance in the club and stuff like that. We know this, man. We know this. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all a joke to me, bro. I was like, y'all just didn't like the man because of his skin color, man. Let's just keep it 100. They're more racist than anybody. The Democratic Party is more racist than anybody, man.
Ooh, hold up now. Ooh,
Let's just be 100, man.
ooh, man, that boy on it tonight. Hold up, that thing loaded. Let me go to the next one. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism while being a Hebrew Israelite with mixed children. What you got to say about that?
Well, I know that to be a fact, but I'm not gonna go too hard because I got family that's in that in that organization or group. But it's facts though, bro. It's facts.
Mm, man, hey, look, you've been on the identity politics part. You know what I'm saying? We'll come back to that. Let me get to the next one. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't
With
talk
no
about how they
policy.
keep making excuses for immoral behavior as adults that they wouldn't accept from their own children. What do you think about that?
It's just like you said, they need to grow up. If you're gonna speak about racism, then you got to show a policy that's racist. If you can't show a policy that's racist, then it's just subjective. It's just an opinion. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? You don't even understand the level of conversation what you're actually talking about. Because when it comes to politics, it's about business, law, and policy. They don't use color.
Hmm. Understood. I agree. Like something got to be followed up with a tangible way of controlling it, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, let me move to the next one. Black men that are baby daddies and raised by thoughts will talk your head off all day about promiscuous modern women, but their unmarried mama was a side chick just like his baby mama.
I mean, it just sounds like a Democrat to me, man. That just sounds like a. I'm just telling you.
boy. Hey, when the identity reveals itself, you just go ahead. Hey, you gotta give it some kind of value, right? Some kind
Right?
of
Yeah.
semblance.
Yeah. I'm just. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like they all over the place. I mean, like what's going on in Central Texas? They, you're running because you're the first LGBTQ commissioner, or you're going to be the first LGBTQ woman in a elected official. Like, who care what you do in your free time? Like, who care?
I get that. All right. Let me move on to the next one. Sexually undisciplined black men will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep buck dancing for side chicks. A problem they can actually solve.
That's just a lack of education, man. Just you know, they don't understand what they up against when it comes to the politics and the politics and all the buck dancing for some, for a woman that you don't even like. Because at the end of the day, we know what goes on in the black community. You can show the statistics saying black men are more involved, but if you was more involved, you would be more married.
Ooh,
That's just what it comes down to. I don't want to talk about how you going to be the most involved father, but you're not the most married father.
yeah. Hold up. I ain't gonna get too deep in the trenches with it.
You're not a
We gotta leave some room for that one to be, what I'm saying, investigated. Right. Like I get it, man. Let me move on because I know somebody might want to have some input on that at some point. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep blaming food for obesity instead of going to the gym.
I mean, on the red side, it's about doing for self, doing for self. On the blue side, they just want somebody to, bail them out when, after they've been partying for 20 years, and then when the health problems kick up, now they want the government to come in. They just want a lifetime of socialism. It's, 2, 3, 4 generations of it. And that's, I'm glad that we got Robert F. Kennedy that's coming in and wanting to make America healthy again. I'm really happy, to see that we're going that way because the system can't support all of this unhealthy lifestyle. It's not enough men to marry the women. You know what I mean? So people gonna have to start taking care of themselves.
He was on the fire the other day for some of the stuff that he's been working on. And in terms of there's been some officials talking about been testifying about vaccines already put in certain foods. And I think it was in Tennessee where it was having a discussion. And then RFK has been under fire for firing certain people, after taking his role, like this is what 9 months into the Trump administration and different departments figuring out what they got to figure out what the way forward is in their own organizations. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when it comes down to it, I think we need to keep a big eye on that. But I do think that the fact that RFK is in the seat to bring the discussion up is
Right.
something that we should pay attention to because at some point you got to stop making apologies for just laziness. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing gonna get
And
done. Ain't no
and
drug. It
late
ain't no nothing.
and
Ain't nothing gonna
bad
fix it but hard work.
Yeah, bad decisions, bad choices. You know, it can't be 2, 3, 4 generations of bad choices, bad decisions, and socialism. We just can't be that.
It can't be multiple generations of just bad dietary choices, you know. And then the other thing is too, I talked to my boy Cavi, and I had multiple conversations about this. If you go back and look at old pictures of your relatives, if you got them, whether they in black and white or in the 70s, it ain't no obese people.
I mean, the women are literally bigger than the men, man. Come on.
Yeah. All right. You cooking. Let me move on to the next one. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep producing children out of wedlock with bums. A problem they can actually solve.
I mean, that's what happens when you got 2, 3, 4 generations of socialism and lifetime dependency on bailouts, and you know, it's just look, the system is, it's time to cut it. I'm glad they're cutting the programs. I'm glad that they're ending all of it, because you know, either you it's a dual, it's a dual income society anyway. I mean, the average person can't afford to live on one income. Let's just be 100.
Yeah. And you know, that's exactly why I believe people got to swallow their pride and do what it takes to, if you care about the community, if community is your goal, then you have to care about how the community is perceived too, because that requires everybody to work together. That means all opinions have to be considered. You don't have to care about every
That's it.
single one of them, but you have to consider them because you might be missing something, you know. I for one have chosen to be a nomad because I deal with people that deal with me. I respect people that respect me. I don't go into spaces where I'm uninvited,
Exactly.
and I care about the space that I've created for myself. In general, I don't believe that black men have allies, and therefore it's not my duty or job to please everyone because nobody has to think about me or the people that I, you know, respect.
Well, I'm
E-
gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you though, and I hate to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
as a Democrat, your ally is your utility. It's not based on family. It's not based on principles. It's not based on values. It's just based on your utility.
Mhm.
And as a Democrat, I don't respect that because I've been paying my taxes. You know what I mean? So my taxes should be able to make me as a utility, but they don't think like that. You know, it's all about the how they can utilize you. But when you go to the Republican side, it's about being a family, keeping the family together, keeping the man in the home. I mean, we was already having this conversation before we even got into politics, man. We've been talking about having a man in the home. We've been talking about that.
Yeah. I just don't know how on the blue side of things they can talk about a community, a
They talk
unified
about it.
front with
The blue side talk about a community with no man in the home.
it's crazy. That's exactly what I'm about to say. How are you gonna talk about community with no men in the home and think that that's how it works? You know. Let me get to the next one. Let's see here. Most people care about complaints. I care about solutions. Making a choice is process of elimination. People will either use logic or emotion to process their own elimination or progress. When I said this, I was saying it like whenever you make a decision, that final moment that you have before you decide to go left or right, up or down, or whatever direction you go in, you have come to some level of a conclusion that the next decision you make is the best decision, right?
Right.
And a lot of people will, I believe, choose the safest route and make the emotional decision because it's there's no accountability in that. I think you get to blame people when you make an emotional decision. Look what you made me do, you know.
Mhm.
But when you make the logical decision, you're usually gonna have to upset some people. And
yeah.
and I remember making a post before the election. I want to say last July sometime. I said, is social media turning black men into conservatives? And I say this, I think generally speaking, most men are conservative. If you talk about saving money, being wise with your investments, if you care about family, all these things by definition and by expression really are conservative things. You know what I'm saying? It's not a liberal behavior to care about doing the right thing and having structure. People want
Right.
structure with no accountability. You can't have both. You have to choose one side or another. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't choose structure and don't think there's going to be no leaders. You can't choose structure and be shocked when there's a level of accountability and discipline that comes with it. You can't choose liberal behavior and be shocked when you don't have any order or discipline. By definition, structure requires someone to maintain the structure, someone to set the structure up. That means somebody took the time to make it make sense before they put it on paper in terms of a plan, before they constructed it, before anything. So, yeah, it's all there, for sure. You got to have it. You got to have
Mhm.
the structure. You got to have somebody in charge, and all that got to happen the right way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what you got to say about that?
Recap the question.
Most people
I'm
care
telling
about complaints. I care about solutions. Making a choice is a process of elimination. People will either use logic or emotion to process their own elimination or progress.
Yeah, I'm like, to be solution orientated, you know, you're gonna get in politics. You're gonna start understanding policies. You're gonna want to know who the policy makers are. You know, the woke community is not tangible. It's not tangible. So the complaints, you can have complaints all you want. I mean, it sounds good. It does. But who are you complaining to? Because if you're just complaining online, then what does that do? Because to who you give your vote to is who you give your power to.
Yeah.
So you're gonna vote, you're gonna get involved, you're gonna create organizations, you're gonna run for office. That's what solutions does.
Yeah. Man, look, I'm glad you had time to stop by and say your piece, bro. I'm gonna get
Man, I
it.
appreciate the opportunity, man. I really appreciate you allowing me on your platform and us to talk these politics. Can't wait to pull up on you and we really put it on video at the same time and we could figure it out. I was able to do a live on my StreamYard and it was able to go live. So, it just figuring out some of these kinks and back end stuff. But when we get in person, I can show you what's going on. We can figure out what's going on the back end.
Too easy, bro. Well, I'm gonna holler at you later, man. Appreciate you calling, man.
All right, good deal, man, bro. Thank
Bet.
you.
I holler.
I bet.
Yo, shout out to my dog, you know what I'm saying, getting a chance to tap in and say his piece to these pointy topics. For those of you that you know what I'm saying, that's been watching. As a matter of fact, um, who else out there? Where my boy at? Hey, the service. Let me know if you want to come on, man. You know how to contact me. Hit me up on the inbox, and I'll give you a chance to come up here and say your piece and run through these topics as well. Because you have already tapped in and supported the super chat. If you didn't support the super chat, you get a chance to come up here. You know, because we we got to support the people that care about the solution, man. You know, because a lot of y'all just want to argue. I don't care about arguing. Yeah. If you care about arguing, I got something for you. Don't come in back. You know, like we too old for this. Make it count. Make it make sense. You know, there's plenty of civilized ways we can have these discussions, man. These topics are already hard enough as it is. You know, I am but a humble servant as it pertains to the truth. So, y'all want to come on up here, run your mouth. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to the service. You gonna come up here in a second? Yeah, man. You ain't gonna. If you gonna put some money up, I'm gonna bring you up here. Cause you setting the standard. You setting the standard right now. You know, trying to grow this pod and get more people tapped in. Y'all leave a one in the chat if you're enjoying what you're seeing right now. You want to become a part of the discussion. This is the time. You know, and it's gonna take all of us to make it make sense, bro. Yeah. Come on now. Amen. Amen. Yeah. What we got going on? There go my dog right there. What's up with it? What's up with it, brother?
Up, man? I was seeing the topics going on. I was like, yeah.
Hey, what's up with it, man? You know what? Hey, bro, I'll be happy to see you, man. You know, like straight up. Bro, could we be in the trenches with this? You know what I'm saying? And when we have our little recap calls from time to time, because you know, like a lot of people think, I don't know what they think. I don't care what they think. I know we be in the trenches with it. And we was already doing our own thing before we even got, you know what I'm saying, crossed up with each other when it came down to social media. And so it's always good to recap because you got your audience, I got my audience, but you start to see different types of men with the same conversation filtering to the top of it and really leading the dialogue that need to be had. Because there's a lot of goofy ass topics out here that keep entertaining, you know what I'm saying, the same group of people. So somebody got to rise above it because we're going to get consumed by it yet again. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody keep getting washed in the same popular BS, you know? So.
Yeah, it's a lot of what I'm seeing is, you know, since that CharlieKirk situation is we kind of seeing the hypocrisy of people being unconditionally loyal.
Okay. Break that down for me.
Because I used to be a radical, and I still think I'm radical.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. I call white people Neanderthals. you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I understand that, you know, there's a time where you need to link with people for the sake of accomplishing a common goal. And if a motherfucker come on there that happen to be an Anglo-Saxon person, and they have some views that are similar to yours, and you can accomplish a common goal, they're an ally. You know what I'm saying? In that regard, like everybody ain't gonna be your mother, ain't gonna be 100% on your team.
So, case in point, right? Reason like this episode is titled "Welcome to Thermopylae," right? You seen 300 before?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Remember when the Spartans was getting ready to, you know, like make their movement, and then the Greeks popped up with them, was like, "You only have 300 men," and he asked them. He said, "What is your profession?" And all of the Greeks said, I'm like I'm a potter, I'm a blacksmith, I'm all of this, right?" And then he said, "Spartans, what is your profession?" They said, "Ooh," you know, they let them know that like we just here for fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's it, right? All them folks on the same sheet of music. Everybody else was trying to identify by what other people see them as, instead of just saying I'm a warrior, right? And I brought that up because men have been fighting one-man army fights in this entire climate, and probably for the majority of your life, even before you knew it was an actual fight, until you decide to take a stand and get in your position and then chop them down one by one. And in Greek mythology, in the story of Leonidas and the 300, They fought at Thermopylae, which was called the Hot Gates. He believed that his 300 men in one spot where they can control the people coming at them, they can chop them down one by one, preserve their numbers, and do significant damage to the opposition. Bro, that's what we are. Because there's so many men that have demonstrated that they will sabotage other men once they deem that the other guy got too much popularity, too much clout, even if he earned it, even if he ain't looking for it. They'll make it about that, and it ain't even about that. You'll be looking out for them more than they look out for themselves. And in that conflict between men gets the Nipsey Hussle's X'd out, gets the CharlieKirk's X'd out, it gets the Fred Hampton's X'd out, the Malcolm X's, the MLK's, you know what I'm saying? And people don't want to hear CharlieKirk's name mentioned in amongst all of men, but freedom of speech is the only thing that has given visibility to men in general that stand on business, in particular black men in this particular case, because we don't have no allies. We don't, like, ain't nobody saying, hey, we need to support black men, but other black men and the women that they marry.
Yeah, I ain't no it ain't no allies with us. And that's what a lot of us need to realize, is that we are really, and then the black men are ops too.
Yeah. And so, like, I think part of the reason, like, our message is the same, but our audiences are different, is because the people that you go at, you know how they raised, and they can't duck from you because you could have been like them. You know what I'm saying? I had a stream one time where we went down this process of elimination about, okay, let's just talk about the men, screw the women, whatever else, right? Because men can only talk about the women that they interacted with. And I said, hey, you can't blame this group of men. You can't blame men with no kids. You can't blame men that you're not attracted to. And you can't blame married men that do right by their families. You know what I'm saying? Take care of their women and take care of the kids they make with them. So the only population of men that's left is the single fathers and the baby daddies. Because the single fathers are different than the baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got your kids and you taking care of them, that's one thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't got your kids and you just on the second order of the custodial agreement, and you still out here doing the same thing that made the first however many kids that you made, then you got to have a completely different discussion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't get in that discussion because everybody don't even understand what that is. So, like, when you start talking about it like that, like you said, yeah, it be these dudes out here too. I believe it's those dudes. Hands down. Yeah, the baby daddies. Because
and I was a baby daddy.
Yeah.
I didn't get it together. I had 3 kids before I was 21.
How did you, but talk to me about this, right? I don't have your experience. You don't have mine, but you got the experience of a lot of men that don't want to be honest about their equity in a situation. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think I've been through I think that what I went through in the black man experience, because I'm part of the black man experience.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But I'm from the gut of it. So I get whatever anybody else gets above this from every tier up. But also I've been through it from the bottom. And now I'm the nerd. Now they look at me like a square, a nerd, a geek, a lame. But I come from the bottom of it. Like I was literally born outside of a marriage.
Talk about that part.
Okay, so my daddy was married to his wife and had me with another woman 30 miles away from where he stayed. My dad was living a middle class life. My mama was in the hood.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So I was born on some Ishmael type shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my mom, she was a bitter young woman because my father, this is what the story was said, that he did not tell her that he was married. So she was deceived. So she was upset. She was angry. So she wanted him to feel how she felt. Now, I mean, just think about this, audience. Do we really expect a young lady that's 23, 24 years old to have high level of emotional intelligence? Just imagine a 23, 24-year-old young lady raising a child by herself. Do you think that's going to be a healthy environment for that child? No. Because emotional regulation, we don't even expect that from our youth today.
We don't even expect it from women in their 40s.
Exactly, bro. So you got a little kid that's growing up in an environment where the woman has disdain for the man. And it might be even rightfully so. So I grew up with, being dropped off at my dad's house and she driving off. I grew up with her ramming her vehicle in the back of this nigga car type shit. And I'm in the hood too. So I always tell people all the time, my mama was a first generation baby mama. She was born in the 60s, so this shit was happening in the 80s. Like 85. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how deep the game has been.
Well, let me tell you something, right? And why our connection is so valuable to me. And long before we even got on camera, we had multiple phone calls. I saw your content before I'd even talked to you.
Right.
I think one of the first conversations I said, man, I remember your voice. I seen it somewhere. I said, nah, I seen it on this particular video from like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't forget nothing, and we've been on the phone. I'll be like, yo, that's a fish tank. I know what that noise is. You know what I'm saying? I listen to everything, right?
Yeah.
And I said, hey man, I hadn't figured out where our intersection was about content. But I said, I need men that's been raised by women to share their unique experience, because I don't think a lot of women know what they do to their sons based on the choices.
Kevin was on that. Kevin Samuels was that.
Yeah, and he definitely was. And my main argument has been the problem in our community of men that look like us and the dissolution of the black family, the black nuclear family, has been the removal of marriage and the emasculation of black men, to the point where women don't even like the men that they're attracted to, but they still make babies with them. And it's crazy to me,
Well, they think they like them. I mean, they do like them. But you gotta understand, when you having babies out of lust, when you having babies out of turn up, when you having babies out of exterior desires, when you are making something, when you turn something sacred into something casual, then you're gonna end up getting this. I got a lot of the women I got pregnant, not because of my core values, but because of my what the young people might call aura or riz. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And they didn't know that I was an emotionally unregulated, hypersensitive motherfucking bitch ass nigga. They didn't know that. Yeah, they didn't know that once they remind me of my mom, I'm going up top. What they say, once you pop, ooh, you can't stop.
Yeah.
Hey, they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? But they was gonna learn.
And so here's the thing, right? You was the first dude that I could talk to about that and be like, yo, I'm finna say something, and his reaction gonna tell me how far I can go with this. You know what I'm saying? I believe that our major problem is the bitch ass niggas that keep making babies, you know what I'm saying, outside of wedlock, They can't control their emotions. They can't do this and can't do that. And then the way you handled that, I was like, that man, no. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what mistake. Everybody know what mistakes they made when they made them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, well intended or nefariously intended. At some point, you got to sit back as a man and say, I ain't have to do that. Whatever your level is, you know what I'm saying? And when you sat back and you paused for a second, you didn't even hesitate. You went right into it. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. This need to be the man, the representative of this type of man to lead this conversation, because can't nobody outside of that behavior and that experience talk about that the same way. Because it's going to sound like I'm just clowning. You know what I'm saying? It's going to sound like I'm making it up, because I've been telling women, they'll hit me up and say, well, what about the man, or what about this? Number one, everybody's responsible for themselves. And again, they be making up excuses for behavior that they wouldn't accept from their own kids. So they do know better, you know, but we need men to lead that discussion, you know.
Look like our boy didn't jumped in the damn chat.
Oh, he coming on in. Yeah, he spent some money, man. I'm bringing him up, you know. There he is.
That's our boy right there. What's up, boy? What's up, man?
What's going on with it? Hold up. You know, we glad to see you, you know.
Yeah, you need a light-skinned brother, you know, to help out these conversations.
Yeah, damn, not the light-skinned brothers.
Primo.
Hold up. Hey, we glad you could make it.
Yeah, this is one of the platforms that I've noticed that, you know, where people want to talk, but they want to talk solutions. You know, I mean, everywhere else, it's the same conversation over and over again, you know, and then when you try to come up with a solution, they only want to talk about smashing and all kinds of other dumb shit, you know. Degenerate shit, not like we won't do it if we had a chance, but, you know.
Hey, look, I'll tell you this. The dude
I'm sick of the degeneracy, boy. Look, I don't understand. And I really think that it really boils down to your spiritual alignment, because it's basic. Like if you a Muslim, if you Christian, if you part of Judaism, or if you part of Buddhist, we all got the same fucking principles. Like everybody is striving for moral excellence, man. Like how do you stand on some shit that is not moving in the direction of right?
Well, you don't stand on it. You step right off and start moving towards the direction that's right. I mean, I'm my answers, the way I do things, especially in my head, is very simplistic. You know, so if I want to stop something, I just fucking stop. You know, they are like, for example, any of you guys, I know Victor probably is, you worked in military, correct?
Correct.
Ooh.
Yeah, he asked me if I worked in the military. Right.
Now, has any of you ever worked corrections or law enforcement or anything of that nature?
Oh, I was in prison.
Well, I mean, that's part-time.
Yeah, I worked corrections for 4 years. I mean, I would.
You got to participate.
I know how to do account time. I know child call.
Now, one of the things I was gonna come up with is perfect example. There's this thing called mandatory overtime. Know what I mean? So if somebody calls out, most likely it's going to be your ass to get stuck. So when I started discovering that a lot of people that they call out sick, oh, I'm sick, and all this other stuff, Cardona, you're stuck, yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. I'll go on Facebook and go on their page, and I see whoever's supposed to be sick at the nightclub with the boss that just told me I was stuck because the guy was sick. So it got so bad that what I ended up doing is I just went from full-time to per diem. All right, now it would mean losing health care and all this other shit, but I never use that because self-care is the best care. And you know what happened then? Oh, now they're trying to get you stuck. I can't because I'm only per diem. You know, I'm only a part-timer. So then when I started doing corrections with adults in Vermont, I did that as a part-timer because I knew exactly what's going to happen, what to expect. As soon as I got there, people started calling out. Well, basically, long story short, you see the problem. you find a solution and you execute. That's just the way it is. Now, in regards to what you were saying, how it is stepping off, while standing on something. I mean, you can only stand on something so long. Like the band was kept playing on the Titanic. They stayed on that fucking band, on that fucking, what you call it, on that stage, and they fucking drowned. I mean, with the water flowing up, 0 degrees. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. So if you see a problem, find a solution, move towards that solution. You know what I mean?
And then even on that motherfucking shit, they was like, women and children, get on the boat. Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if they ever come down to a boat sinking, if we on the Carnival cruise and that motherfucker starting to go down, to all you big back, masculine, independent bitches that don't need a man,
they don't fit anyway.
Not get on that boat. If you act too bad, you might go overboard.
It's the reason it's
before the ship sinks.
So, remember, it's a boat. It's a Carnival cruise. Not a Carnival, Barnum and Bailey circus would have elephants all over the place.
Oh, it is elephants on that cruise.
Exactly.
Hey, look, before we go down the rabbit hole too far, man, I'm gonna bring up some of the talking points that I had earlier.
Yeah,
all right. I want y'all to run through these. I'm just gonna put them up as we go. Y'all tell me when you're ready to move off of them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go. If you take the baby daddies and baby mamas and the overweight, diabetic, pro-black simps and feminists out of your timeline, who is left?
Now, you're talking about basically this question is towards the people that have
the people that fit the behavior. People that fit the behavior.
Well, I know they fit the behavior, but let's say
that's some shit.
If I was because what I have left personally, I have the people I do business with and my Kung Fu family. And some relatives here and there and stuff like that. Other than that, I really don't care.
I don't have nobody.
So, well, you're a different story, man. I've seen your conversations.
Hey, look, a process
and who you be talking to?
And you said, I seen your conversations. Man, that shit be fucking hilarious, man.
Well, I mean, listen, I understand you got to pass the time. So all you got to do is type the word big back and watch him just flood in there.
All right. Trey, what you got, bro?
Man, if you take the baby daddies and baby mamas and the overweight, man, I don't have nobody on my timeline, man. I mean, even the white people are baby mamas and baby daddies.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah, hey. When black people move, white folks follow. You didn't know that? Now they do dance moves.
It's like every experiment that they start, it started in the black community first. It's like, let's test this shit on this nigga first. Let's start out with crack. Oh no, let's start out with this system. Oh no, damn. And it's never a problem until it spills over into the damn white community.
Yeah.
So now when white people get put on child support and parentally alienated from their kids, now it's a fucking problem.
Yeah, well, shit, they even singing the blues now.
But I get it. I ain't gonna be sitting up here crying. But no, I don't have nobody, homie.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's a tough road.
All right, we'll move on to the next one.
I need some more married. I need some civilized people on my shit.
Gotcha. Man, look, check this out. Would y'all eat Chinese food at a black restaurant with black employees?
Only on Crenshaw.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Okay,
that's
Crenshaw. They're pretty much related to them over there.
It's almost like saying, would you eat?
I've been to Crenshaw, and I gotta agree with that. Yeah, I got Crenshaw and Slauson. If it's a Chinese food restaurant, it's some black people over there, I'm still gonna get the shrimp fried rice.
They learn the game. Yeah, California is so diverse. You're gonna have to respect the game.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I lived in China, I lived in China for almost a year, and I've had real Chinese food. Now, the main thing is, like, let's say, for example, like I'm from the East Coast. Now, if I was in the East Coast and I seen a black Chinese restaurant, I would just have to say no. Because it's pretty much the same as watching some Indian chick talk about how to cook your greens while washing them in the bathtub. I wash my balls.
They actually do a damn good job.
Like
them Arabs.
That's why
there's nothing them Arabs can't cook. They're gonna have good fried chicken, good pizza, good Philly cheesesteak. They're gonna have good anything them motherfuckers decide that they're gonna sell out of their motherfucking bodega. That motherfucker is gonna be amazing.
Yep. Hey, I can't.
Especially they fucking chicken.
You know what? It's what black people don't know is people that fry chicken better than black people.
But they don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
they don't want to hear it, but it's true.
Yeah, we think we originated the shit, but yeah, we might be the originators, but them motherfuckers didn't change the game because if you've been in Baltimore, Maryland, hip hop chicken,
come on,
that shit good.
I live
and that shit's by the Arabs, nigga. It's named hip hop chicken. It's for you niggas, but they the ones that motherfucking made the shit.
Hey, I lived in Korea for 2 years. And
in Arkansas, there's a spot called motherfucking what's it called? Oceans. That's an Arab spot. That's some good motherfucking chicken and gizzards. God damn.
Give me a second. One of my fiancés is messaging me.
He said, one of your fiancés? That is crazy. All right. I'm moving to the next one. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Power doesn't beg or bicker. Victimhood does. People that come into my comments trying to change my mind have no power here. I wrote this because I don't write comments to invite people to change my mind. I don't say, hey, come change my mind. Tell me something different. I don't have nothing to prove. I just speak my piece. How do you guys deal with people that try to change your mind?
I don't.
Good answer.
Here's the thing. The amount of time, I picked up some books, which is a good question, right? The amount of time it takes me to bicker to try to convince somebody, I could have finished this whole book right here.
That's true.
Right? Learning how to, the living trust and all these other stuff to sit, for your assets and everything for your heirs, things of that nature. All right. I would not be able to finish that book because I'd be too busy convincing people who are already convinced in themselves that they want to be slaves to the system all this time. And the best I can do is live by the example that I want other people to be and hope that some follows. And that's pretty much it. If they ask questions, I will answer. But if they're only asking questions just so they can be, how can I put it, basically wasting your time, like they're just trying to troll or whatever, if you got $500 you can give me right now so I can spend time talking to you about your nonsense, or you can get, to talk something productive like we're doing here.
Yeah. A lot of them just real disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Dondre, what you got, bro?
Yeah.
You play the organ music with this one.
Oh, you mean put you up front?
Mm-hmm. Play the organ sound. Whenever somebody try to change my opinion, I tell them fuck them in the mighty name of Jesus.
Jesus,
you can kiss my ass. Cause Dondre ain't gonna change. You gotta be out your mind and deranged. If you think I'm gonna change my mind, because I'ma think when I wanna think, when I wanna think. And if you don't like it, you can get off my motherfucking page. Block, bitch. That's what I say. Shit, motherfucker get on that motherfucker all the time, and you got one thing we gotta understand is there's more people that look up to what we have to say when you are a progressive thinker, when you think outside of the box.
Right.
Oh, you can't do that.
You come to our page, you just want to be heard.
Yeah.
You just want to be seen. They want your attention.
Right.
Now all these women every day, man. I don't know if you seen that last post that came up.
Which one?
There was a young lady that said, why do men think that, why are so many men claiming to be naturally polygamous when in the animal kingdom that they
that bullshit.
they're monogamous?
Look, let me say something before you elaborate. Didn't God give man dominion over animal?
Yep.
Why we want to be like the animal we got dominion over?
Yeah, that's true.
Me too.
But even then, by nature, you know, the nature of man, if we're not disciplined, is self-destructive. We're gonna overindulge.
Right. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, our consciousness and our thumb is what separates us from the rest of all the other animals. Right.
Yeah.
But shit, these women these days, they don't even have common sense. So why I'm gonna listen to a motherfucker that ain't got common sense? She don't even know that a motherfucking lion can fuck as many lions without the other lionesses getting mad. I put on the post, I said my homegirl didn't have an ass. Damn.
Yeah, you know, if they really want to compare us to the animal kingdom, that means we're just going on fucking anything and everything. So no. Yeah, that was but that's women talk for you. Yeah, sorry, I was just bearing.
Hey,
that don't make no fucking sense, man.
Hey, look, you don't be on the calls between me and him. That's why the shit be so funny. Because
man, I'm crying, man. This shit though, they so dumb, it's funny, man.
It's so dumb, it's funny. Because
they so dumb these days. They are so, I don't think we understand. Like, bro, it's really exhausting at this point. Like, at this point, you really just got to be on a troll. The only way you can enjoy being this right for this long is unless you start trolling motherfuckers.
And that's correct, man.
And I know that's why you post all those things.
like I have completely, like, that's what this show is. I'm posting the trolls right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a matter of fact, let me pull this one up.
Damn.
This one. We ain't got to worry about power because that's why we here, right? Let's just get to this. Cancel culture is backfiring on liberals now. These are the same folks that try canceling.
God damn.
Me too. I said, I'm glad that I have lived long enough to see this necessary conflict occur. Gentlemen, what do y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of doing that kind of stuff, but I do understand that when you swing one way, it's gonna swing right back at you. So, you know, that pendulum. You know, I mean, for example, I helped with security sometimes, like in Rhode Island and things of that nature, for freedom of speech rallies, and Antifa would show up. And then since they can't kick our ass, all of a sudden they try to dox us. You know, they tried doxing me, but by that time I was already self-employed. And that didn't work out. You know, and things like that. So, but a lot of people lost their jobs, they lost their families because, you know, the wives, oh my God, the people making all these cars, and the wife leaves, stuff like that. And, you know, people, and it was a big mess. But now, you know, the pendulum went as far as it could, and I was swinging right back. And, you know, even though I'm not a big fan of doing it, you know, I understand why it happens. And hey, they should learn the code like the rest of us. You know, maybe they should start a podcast.
Yeah, for real.
I think that mercy list, like, no mercy deserves no mercy.
Exactly.
What happened to CharlieKirk? And you know, they say, you know, freedom of speech. There ain't no, ain't never been no fucking freedom of speech. It's the freedom to get your ass popped.
Yeah.
Who the fuck you know, nigga, that's been able to say what the fuck when they want and then get no ops?
Besides
even the shit that I say, I've been in public. You believe it? I don't know if y'all know this, but people in this city, when I go places, people know me from social media.
Ain't that weird when you start getting recognized from social media?
Yeah, and motherfuckers, upon more times than I can count, I heard and seen the whispering in the room. And there's people that'll do something to you just because you had an opinion.
Yeah.
You know,
oh my God,
bro. Let me say this. I know how absolutely true that is, especially when somebody says they recognize you from social media and you don't know if you're on their good side or their bad side. Because you don't know what they align their beliefs with, because they've already put it together in their mind, like how they gonna deal with you if they bumped into you, right? And you don't even get a chance to make it make sense in most cases. And that's what we're seeing, because people want a whole picture of the person that they mad at in 30 seconds. They want an entire profile of your inception, conception, every mistake you made, as if you can't grow and get better in 30 to 45 seconds before they make a decision on how they're going to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole different breed of people that's outside that you got to really be aware of. It don't matter if you want to believe that you did the right thing or not. They outside waiting on you for the thing that make them feel inferior, you know? Because that's how powerful cancel culture is. Because on social media is one thing, but every time something leaves and comes back, it's worse than what it was before. And they created this back in what was it, 2013, sometime between 2013 and 2015, when it was hitting its full swing. You know, when it was like, oh, he did this with so and so 50 years ago, cancel him, cancel them, all of that, right? And now the same liberals that was back talking about cancel Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, and anybody else they wanted to name that fit whatever made them feel good, they getting their issue right now, losing their jobs, talking crazy about CharlieKirk on their jobs. When in reality, on a level of human decency, 10, 15, 20 years ago, that wasn't the thing to do. You know, like, I ain't never hear people saying Martin Luther King deserved what he got, Malcolm X deserved what he got. Never heard JFK deserve what he got. Never heard RFK deserve what he got. And the only people I've ever heard deserve probably what they got was people that hurt kids.
Well, the thing is women are unhinged. Like women don't understand consequences.
I agree with that. I said before, most women in general do not have a freedom or their safety on the line for what they say. And then when they do, they think that the other person is overreacting instead of saying, I probably shouldn't say this. Because they don't respect.
Because they damn near kill each other now. You know, the most violent group that we have in America are women.
Look, come on, man.
Hit that note.
I'm on. Hey, you with me? Hey, look. Let me tell you something, Trey. Women's shelters exist because mothers put their daughters out in the street after they beat them up. Because, like, let me tell you why I came to that conclusion. Because you got too many single mothers and too many childless men. So you can't blame the men that you call deadbeats if they're not in the house. So who beating up the daughters? Who hurting the kids if it ain't no man there?
There's some I mean, that's a bias in itself. A lot of people lie in order to get in them shelters. But to say that there's one aspect that I can't defend.
Okay, what's that?
With men, and that's child molestation.
Oh, of course not. And let me add something before you expand. Before you expand, in that lane, when it comes down to that, when they blame those stepdaddies, the mothers bring those men into the house.
That's true, but I done ran across a couple of real daddies.
What about them?
And his uncles and his cousins. So what I'm saying is, and it's a lot. I've been with more women that's been touched by those group of men. Not. How?
This is a hell of a conversation right here at this part. And I'll say this. Let me take this off the screen real quick. I made a post one time. I said, 90% of the black women that I talk to have been essayed or molested by a man that their mother protected when the girl brought it to their mother's attention looking for protection. They accused their own daughters of being fast, promiscuous, and inviting that man into that sensual space with them. And then when they brought it up, the mother got competitive and defended the abuser of their own daughters. That's some wild when you think about it, because that's something that we don't go through at the same level that they do. I'm not saying that boys don't get abused. I'm not saying that.
No, but they don't say nothing because it's like our rite of passage.
It's like a rite of passage. That's how the boys look at it. You know what I'm saying?
But also, it's still abuse.
It's still abuse
because it said, what did that do to us?
Women created R. Kelly. His aunties passed him around.
I mean, I was molested when I was 4 years old by my girl cousin.
Damn.
So what did it do? It sent us into a hypersexual drive.
Yep.
Man, that's why I had so many baby mamas, because sex was an addiction.
Yeah. Some woman was talking about, when are men going to hold hypersexual men accountable? And I said, when are women going to stop raising hypersexual men?
When are they going to stop getting naked in front of their kids?
I said, hypersexual hoes raise hypersexual men.
Most of single mother kids that grow in single mothers' homes see their mama naked.
Come on. You remember I talked about that shit? I said, hey, most of these men that can't control their meat grew up seeing their mamas naked.
And then going under the bed and finding pornos.
And then showed how they communicate with girls.
I mean, motherfuckers don't want me to talk. If I got to talk, my whole family nigga be ready to put a hit on me.
Ain't that sad though?
Ain't it sad? Nigga, it's exposing everything. I mean, bro, cousins, fucking cousins.
You know, one thing that really saddens me as well is that they know who's who in the family. They know who's who in the friend, in their friend circles and stuff like that. And yet they still keep inviting them to the cookouts and everything else, right there with their victims.
Man, them motherfuckers support. A lot of them people ain't even loyal to family. They're loyal to other outside entities outside of. Like I got a couple girl cousins. They are in a sorority. They're more loyal to the sorority than they actual blood. My baby mama, the one that keep me away from my daughter, shit, they cool with the bitch.
Strange.
Yeah.
Extra strange.
So what I'm saying is or church. Is different organizations, bro, or political parties, or nigga, the prison, nigga, the whatever fraternity or sorority or organization or camaraderie they have, man, they will associate that at the detriment of whoever the fuck else.
That's why they're selfish,
bro. Man.
That's why you can't give them power either.
Yeah, man, that shit hard in the motherfucker.
You like that shit? All right, we move on to the next. Let's see. Everything you're seeing on social media that triggers you is a reaction to a reality that you've been denying or have been brainwashed by. Stay uncomfortable, my friends. What you got to add to that?
Yeah. I have to say this way, a lot of weak-minded people, you can't call them anything else. From what I'm seeing, they're actually using, these entities are using the social media to be able to, you call it brainwash and everything else, but also to monitor and learn, the human psychology when it comes to this type of thing. And as you can see, they're also getting ready to set up AI with the use of the technology that has learned everything that we're doing here. So you notice a lot of anonymous posts of things that trigger people, things of that nature, because especially when these people don't have a face, unlike we have faces on our profiles, and when we talk shit, they know it's us. Bless you.
Damn. Hey, Trey G said, "What's up? What's up, Trey G?"
Hey, what's happening, Trey G? Pull up.
Jalen, what's up? What's happening?
Yeah.
Got my number.
What's up, Brandon? Happy birthday, boy.
Yeah.
Yep. And the brainwashing, people when they post all this stuff for likes and likes and likes and likes, they get that dopamine hit, and they want to keep what's that called? When you're trying to get validation over and over again, and they live their lives through social media. I get people getting pissed off at me because I only post like 1 or 2 things a day, and I'm never really online. I've been messaging you, I've been doing this. Yeah, well, guess what? All my alarms are off because I'm busy.
Yeah.
I troll with a couple jokes. Sometimes I go on there and I see a post by Trey. Talking to that chick about the animal kingdom. I was like, that's dumb. Kept scrolling.
Hey, you know what's so funny, man?
God damn, man.
Yo, you know what's so funny? The stuff that be pissing people off, we be laughing about.
Yeah.
Like
shit.
Yeah,
not even serious.
and what's so wild is like, I know that we probably don't even have each other in favorites, but somehow, some way, the way that we interact will be over the same topic or some similarity. It'd be at different points in the week or the year, or maybe Dontre done said something now that I wrote 3 to 5 years ago, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Because the topic ain't going nowhere, and the people that can't stand it, they want to say, "Oh, you triggered, you this, you that." Nah, bro, I'm just here to provoke y'all now at this point, because I don't care if you listen to me or not. The only way to get you in the conversation to prove my point is to piss you off.
Yeah, we antagonizing, But this young lady, man, and then it's interesting because people will try to have a heart to heart with me and be like, "Don Trey, bro, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar." And they'll be like,
Some flies.
there's a right way to say things, and sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And then I'm like, nobody gives a fuck when you're nice.
Hey, fuck you and them flies.
Yeah, and who wants flies?
Who the fuck want flies?
And if you really want to be honest, shit attracts more goddamn flies than goddamn honey.
Oh.
Yeah. right. Who catches more flies than goddamn honey, man?
Yep.
That's so right.
And if they don't have an answer for you, you're too busy trying to be white.
Oh man, come on.
Motherfucker, man, look, man, we don't need, like, listen, being mean is the only way to get their attention, man.
Yeah.
Being Mr. Nice Guy, nice guys finish last and eat ass.
Bruh, even when they do the right thing and something, I really try to get through that without reacting.
Not the eat ass. It was the eat ass part.
Damn.
Hey, we don't need to say nice guys finish.
God.
Nice guys eat ass.
Hey.
Hmm.
You made me take my damn glasses off.
God damn. Man, we not finna do this shit. We just gotta be men. You know how men, when we around each other, be like, man, what's up, bro? I ain't see you you fat as fuck.
Yeah, that's just what it got to be. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck you been eating, motherfucker?
Fuck wrong with you? You depressed?
My bitch like it though. This dick fat too. Hey, motherfucker, like being a man is a non-cheat code experience.
Yes.
You're always gonna be around a motherfucker that's gonna make you better.
Yeah, like if you was ugly 10 years ago, I expect you to be ugly.
You ugly motherfucker, and he embraces his ugly, and then he gets rich.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Or he embraces his brokenness, gets some muscles.
He had no choice.
Like, men like, gonna do it, bro. We don't lie to each other like that. It's gonna be like, oh man, we call niggas that are great. We say that they suck.
Yep.
We hate LeBron James, and this nigga can dunk over all of us at the same time.
You can't get on the court with him to save your life. If he fell off, if he was overweight, he'd still dunk on you. He still would cross you up. He would do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? If he chose to, because you ain't never been where he been, but he been where you been. He ain't never actually probably been where you been. He been better than you all his life.
Well, when that nigga was 5'8", that nigga was in the 3rd grade.
Come on, man. Like, Buddy had a $90 million shoe contract conversation at age 14. I remember it was in the Slam magazine. And I was like, who is this dude? You know? So, yeah, people got to pick and choose their battles.
Yeah, we got to, it's levels to this shit. But we don't, at this point, if all we have made more impact by being complete goddamn assholes towards feminism than being nice for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, because man, when you nice, they just gonna wipe their ass with you. Straight up. Let's see here. Fellas, women will pander to you on social media when it's about race and politics. When it's about family, they call you absent deadbeats. That's the post. What you got?
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, they chose us. What the fuck would that make them?
It doesn't even matter what they make them.
I'm a deadbeat, or I can beat him dead. How do you want to do it? So they want to pan on social media about race.
That motherfucker right there, that's a hard ass post.
Yeah, like
I would let you know it really highlights feminism. It really highlights how it's the biggest ism.
Because they actually want that. They're about the family thing. They actually want that because
you think they want family?
No, they don't want family. What I mean is that they want the deadbeats. You ever notice how? I'm serious. It gives them something to talk about. If they're living a life of failure, they need somebody to blame. Why not the person they chose? to make a baby with, and then they do some dumb shit. I don't know what happens, but for the most part, I mean, the statistics show they're the ones leaving for whatever reason. So, man, I don't know. Maybe they're gonna get themselves a dog or some shit.
What you got done, Trey?
Shit, I agree with him. Shit, nigga, shit. They want to spin the narrative to be the victim. Anything to be the fucking victim, they want that shit.
Yeah, being a victim gives you
Even
attention.
if they gotta provoke you, even at your expense, they're gonna be a victim at your expense. They'll hit you in the head, and then when you bow, and you hit that bitch in that good eye, she gonna say that you an abuser, and then she gonna come on video the next day. She gonna say, if you have someone that say they love you and they do something like this, then don't love yourself. Don't be like me.
And don't forget to hit the Cashapp.
Don't be like me. Be better. Because when someone loves you, they'll never put their hands on you.
I raised the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They use all that victimhood.
And right now, I don't know where to go. I have to separate from him. I don't know how much it's going to cost. If you have any resources, please send it to me.
For 25 cents a day, you can support this hoe.
Straight to the shelter. Hold up. All right. Black people will talk your head off all day about racism while being a Hebrew Israelite with mixed children.
I have to admit, I've seen them. I've seen a black child with blue eyes, no contacts. I was like, "Hey, Jason, this is my daughter." I'm like,
"Now, hey, look,
you serious?"
Before you go further, Jason, there are some black people.
I know
that do have blue eyes and blonde hair, and they live in a far-off land.
Yes,
on the globe. We know that those people exist.
Yes, we know
talking about on the Solomon Islands,
but the exception
we're not talking. But I want to specify. We're not talking about the same folks that fight each other at Walmart. We're not talking about Memphis. We're not talking
about the Hebrew Israelites.
We're not talking about the Bronx, and we damn sure ain't talking about nothing that's happening in the city of New Orleans. Okay. So I want to specify some general areas, you know what I'm saying? So we're not saying that the people with these phenotype characteristics do not exist and that just so happen to have melanin.
Right. I never said they didn't. But what I'm saying is
I know you
didn't. A friend of mine's.
You go ahead and do your thing. I was talking about the audience.
Yeah. The friend of mine who's a Hebrew Israelite, haven't spoken to him in a couple of years, but introduced me to his daughter. I'm gonna see him at the blue eyes. Now his mother, blonde, model looking, blue eyes and everything else. So I'm looking at him, and he's like, I'm like, you take a DNA test? And he got pissed off at me. He's like, nigga, listen, I'm just saying, all right, I'm be asking the same question your daddy's gonna ask you when she sees this child. All right. Oh, I don't talk to my dad. I can see why. So, you're being rebellious by staying away from your queens. But yeah, I've seen it. A couple of Hebrew Israelite buddy of mine. Introduced his daughter, mixed kids, all over the place. For some reason, they don't stick to their own race of women like they like to talk about all the time. Queens and this and that. I'm like, yo, you crowned a Neanderthal. What are you doing?
what you got done, Trey? What you got?
I feel that. I mean, if you think about it, you have mixed kids. Most of our mixed kids get with white people too. So now the bloodline is gone. Hold up. Mm-hmm. Hold up. 1 second. 1 second. One second.
Do you think? I'm gonna move on to the next.
His big back is calling
him. You so stupid. Let's see.
What you doing? Where you at?
Black people will talk your head off all day about racism, but won't talk about how they keep making excuses for immoral behavior as adults that they would never accept from their own children. Talk about that.
Yeah, the first thing that happens or the first thing that they do and say when you bring up their whatever it is that they're doing that's wrong, and when you bring it up to them, but what about all these what aboutism? I'm not talking about this other motherfucker down the street. I'm talking about you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be telling you shit. You keep doing what you're doing. But I'm talking to you, and now you want to talk me down like I'm the crab in the barrel trying to bring you. You know, I want you to fix yourself. But, oh, no, you're just saying it because, Hispanics don't have to deal with that. No, we just keep more quiet about it because, we beat our kids' ass when they do dumb shit. Maybe if you guys start beating your kids' asses, there wouldn't be so much trouble out here.
Yeah, I think in general, when I was thinking about this post, and regardless of who might feel about it, the behavior still exists. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter who has an opinion about it or who cares. I don't particularly care,
Right.
At all, because it's just fascinating to me. And the people that I need to answer from will tell me to fuck off. So, so who cares who asks the question at this point?
Yeah. Because if their own people can't tell them, an outsider will.
Yeah. Then who can?
And outsiders normally don't give a fuck about you.
Right. Let me move on to the next one. Black men that are baby daddies and raised by thoughts will talk your head off all day about promiscuous modern women, but their unmarried mama was a side chick just like his baby mama.
Yeah, I see that all day, every day, damn near everywhere. Huh?
I was about to say too, before I let you finish speaking, so I can't wait for Dontre to come back on here because he could talk about this at a different frequency than I can.
Like probably arguing with that chick online on that same topic.
But the thing is though, ultimately, before you progress into your point, we've all seen this. This is the essence of a lot of the conflict that people see online.
Yep. I mean, and for some reason, when you try to break away from that cycle, let's say you grew up having that type of baby daddy and being raised by a thought or whatever, and then when you try to break that cycle, all of a sudden you're the bad guy throughout the whole family. Or you trying to be, I mean, you remember the Uncle Ruckus episode when he was growing up? Father caught him reading a book.
Oh yeah,
nigga, you trying to be somebody? Smack. That's what your family and friends do. They see you trying to do better for yourself and everything else. You try to talk to them to come with you. Let's build better things. No. Let's keep talking about these promiscuous women, unmarried baby mamas, and all this other shit that don't mean nothing anymore at this point. Like we spoke in your last episode, right? At this point, we built the ark; they can't come. So as we're floating away on our ship, the echoes of their bullshit talk, baby daddy ain't shit, child support, promiscuous women, all that stuff is just fading away, fading away.
Yeah.
While we move to the promised land.
Man, look, I agree with all of that, man. Look,
I'm gonna send him a message.
Yeah, man, he good. We gonna come back on here probably tomorrow. I got a couple other points because we're close to 2 hours. I kind of wanted to get to this point. I'm glad that you contributed to the platform, and I appreciate you for being available.
Yeah, somebody's gonna see me and they're gonna be like, "What the hit? What can he tell us about our?"
Yeah, like
I can say a lot.
Well,
but I mean, you're gonna have to hear from somebody sooner or later.
Well, the thing is, man, you got some equity in the situation because you mix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you got both sides of it. Not very many people can speak on it, and we got to have some balance to it. At this point, because if our own people that are ethnically lined up with the same thing don't want to listen to it, then who can? So, on that note, I'm getting up out of here. I'll see you backstage, bro.
All right.
All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm. That's when life actually happens.